Warning: the following contains explicit language and subject matter that may not be suitable for younger listeners, church folk, and people who enjoy kale smoothies.
Man lives in the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side.
Am I good?
You might want to pull yours a little further away as well.
Hello.
Am I still good?
Fish.
Am I good?
You're beautiful.
Is this good?
That's good.
Oh, boy. Okay. No, we're good. Everything's good.
Good.
Guys, we're good.
Good.
Is it good?
Everything's
Are we good?
I'm good.
We're
Is
good.
this good?
Good.
I think it's good.
I hope
Will,
it's
you good?
I hope it's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Pod Amongst Men. I'm your host, Steve B. This is the show that is the show about the show.
Pods and men.
Yeah, pods and men and stuff and carving things out of
What was
wood.
that tagline?
Oh, the new tagline is coffee break converstions for the 21st century.
Fantastic. I like
So
that.
that's going to be the one we're rocking with for now. You like
Fair
it?
enough.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
That's the goal. That's the kind of the vibe we're going for.
All right.
Anyway, in case you haven't noticed, I have multiple guests here. We have a special episode tonight. This is our Halloween episode, first ever.
Yay.
So I have all returning guests. I have some of my heavy hitters here. I have Drew K in the house.
Hello there.
I have Will H in the house.
Hello.
And Gert B. Frobe. AJF is in the house.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, so no, we're going to talk about some fun stuff tonight. The last two episodes have been a little more on the serious side, and we're going to have some fun tonight. You guys okay with that?
I'm okay with that. I gotta ask what the last two episodes were because as your best friend, I never listen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I haven't
I'm
listened
the
to anything.
worst. I'm the worst friend. I've never even listened to the ones I'm on.
Yeah, that's true. His girlfriend listens.
Well, at least somebody does.
She makes up for me not listening. She's listened to every single one.
She might be the most dedicated listener we have. Not even a man.
Good. Thank God we got
Anyway, so we're going to talk about some fun stuff. We're going to talk about some of our favorite scary movies, even though 2 of the 4 of us are not fans of scary movies.
I'm not a fan.
Wait, which two?
You
Are
and
me?
you and Drew.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah,
You thought I had to up it to 3?
I'm not crazy about scary movies or scary things.
I don't dislike them by any means. I just don't get around to watching them that much anymore. I did when I was a kid, but not much anymore.
You're a fan, right, Will?
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan. Collector, although I don't really watch them as often as I used to.
Little kids in the house is tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's tough. I mean, we don't really like not watch horror movies because of the kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My kids love all things horror, actually.
That is true. Your daughter wanted to dress up as Pennywise.
She did dress up as
dress
Pennywise.
I think didn't Brittany like kind of tame it down a little bit?
Not too much. Not too much. Yeah, no, they're not really. I mean, they do get scared, obviously, and but we don't, hide those things from them. I don't know if that makes us good parents or.
Listen,
I haven't
Great
seen
parents.
I haven't seen either one yet. I'm terrified of clowns.
Yeah.
So is Tyler. Tyler's
All right.
petrified of Pennywise.
Yeah, no, my kids love Pennywise. Absolutely adore Pennywise.
Some kids
My
like it.
Yeah, my son's 3 and he has a Pennywise blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's
great.
That's how my kids are.
I wish. Now, like, I think Tyler watched it like on YouTube with his cousin, and I think he was just trying to be cool in front of his cousin, and it really seriously freaked him out. Like, very deeply disturbed him.
Scarred for life.
Yeah, so one night we were going up to bed, and for a while, chapter 1 was on HBO, and we were getting into bed, and I happened to turn on the TV, and it was just at the perfect part where there's Pennywise like coming out of the TV screen with a giant mouth.
Yep.
And like and as soon as I turned it on, and he sees it. Oh shit! Turn it off! Turn it off! But he was like, "What are you trying to do? Kill him?" I didn't know it was on. I think he was watching like the Electric Factory or something. I don't know, whatever the hell that show is.
Is it still on?
Yeah, they have it on HBO all the time.
Did you carve pumpkins this year? I know
Not
you were
yet.
always big on that.
Not yet. I want to, but we've been so busy with stuff with the house.
Yeah.
And the weather. We were going to go pumpkin picking yesterday, and the weather didn't really hold out.
No, it did not.
Yeah, that really stunk. We were going to take my daughter Olivia. She wanted to go on her first haunted hayride. You know, she kept insisting, I want to go. And I'm like, I don't know if you're ready for it. We were literally going to go last night, and it's the last night, like Norris Hill. I don't know why they can't just extend it right. I know Halloween's over on Thursday, but I don't know why they can't just do one final weekend. But yeah, that was the last chance we had, and it got rained out.
Boo.
Yeah.
Those haunted hayrides get more extreme every year. Do you notice that?
I haven't been on one in a while, but I
my
did see
wife
that.
hates them. Like, I can't go on them because she won't go on them.
It's just all jump scares.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. And that's why she hates it.
Yeah, so anybody who doesn't live in like the Northeast, because I know they don't have this in like Florida, they don't have this, like the hay rides and the corn mazes and stuff in the farmlands. On Halloween up here, you know, they have all this very Halloween, like fall themed things, and they have always like a haunted house or the haunted hay ride. And yeah, man, like every year they just get more and more extreme. Like they're just going to start doing murders. No.
Yeah. My wife punched a guy once it was at Great Adventure. We went to Fright Fest.
Oh.
And I don't know, she's freaked out about everything. And we were walking into one of the rides, and I forget what's the wooden roller coaster?
Rolling Thunder.
Yep, we were walking through Rolling Thunder, and there was like a cave kind of thing. And in the corner was like I thought it was like a statue or something like that. But she turned that corner when she got there, and the guy jumped out of it, and she fucking clocked the guy, man. She punched him and went, "Oh my god, I'm sorry."
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! We have a friend. I could say Moose. This is not a bad story.
Yeah.
His nickname was Moose, but he's a big dude. Have you met him?
Yeah, I knew Mooses.
He had this thing. He was terrified of zombies.
Really?
Like he hated zombies. Couldn't watch Walking Dead or anything like that. But he hated them. So he was out at work one night, and his parents were gone, and his sister decided she was going to have people over. So he gets home, and like they see him pulling up, and like one of the kids knew, like they wanted to fuck with him. So they went. The kid hid in his room and just kind of like stood in the wall in like this bedroom in the dark, like staring in the corner, Blair Witch style. So he gets in his room, and like I guess wasn't close enough to the lamp to turn it on, and he saw somebody. He's like, "Hello, like what are you doing?"
Oh, no.
And the kid didn't move. And he was like, "Hello, like, who is that?" Like, just totally freaked out. And the kid just kind of slowly turned around and just like with his head hung to one side, just started like kind of charging him.
Oh no!
And like he's a big dude. He's like,
His name is Moose.
So he literally grabs a guy and like throws him down and just starts punching him. Going, "You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!" Scream.
My favorite thing about that is that he legitimately thought it was a zombie, and his reaction was, "You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!" That's how you handle a zombie in your room.
Yeah. That was funny when he told us that. We just wanted to fuck with him then.
That is hilarious.
One of the guys that works for, because you mentioned Fright Fest, one of the guys that works for me was saying the other day that a few years ago he went to Fright Fest and he kind of like dressed up like, you know, zombified his face and everything, and he was watching the actual people that are, you know, paid to go out and scare people, and they have like hiding places in the bushes and stuff like that.
Yep.
And he would watch where they jumped out of, and like they would jump out to scare people, and he would go and sneak into their hiding places. And then when they went back in, he would scare the shit out of them. He said most of them laughed about it, but a couple of them got pissed off.
That's brilliant.
Get mad.
You know, it's one of those things where it pisses you off that somebody got the best of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what me and
absolutely.
Betty do that. We just constantly are trying to outscare one another.
Nice.
And you can see like when I get her, that look on her face, like, "Oh, motherfucker."
I can't do that.
I got her so good, bro. When I was painting the side of the house, the window up here looks right over where we fold all the laundry on the top of the stairs.
All right.
So I'm up on the extension ladder, just painting, and she's up there doing laundry. And she didn't realize that I had moved the ladder right by the window. So she's got like music playing on her phone. You know, and all of a sudden, like I see her and she doesn't know I'm there. So I'm waiting. And I get real close to the screen and she has no idea. And I just went, "Beatrice!" You know, like that scare where you like your whole body just tenses up. like the hands came up and like just locked up. She was furious.
Oh, that is good.
Ay,
That is
coño! It was a good one.
That is a
Well
good
done.
one.
But now Tyler sees us doing that, and now he wants to take part. So he's like, I'll be coming in the house, and I'm going to take off my shoes, and all of a sudden the door swings open, and they go, "Hello!" And and you jump like, Jesus Christ! It's like, you cocksucker, you got me. Nah,
Did you guys all dressed up? Do you guys all still dress up for Halloween? I know you did.
Yep.
I did on Friday.
I didn't because
No?
I didn't do anything this weekend.
So we're recording this on Monday, just so everybody's aware. And last Friday, let me tell you the story that I didn't actually get to tell you guys. So my wife's friends were having a costume party / birthday party for one of her friends. It's like, oh yeah, it's close to Halloween. The whole family, all the family's going to be there, the kids and everything. We'll all dress up. It's a costume party, and then we'll make it a birthday party too. Like, okay. So me, I'm a nerd. I wanted a costume.
Really? Go on.
No.
Tell me about it. So I decided I was going to be Nick Fury, but not like typical trench coat Nick Fury, like undercover Nick Fury, where he's in the hoodie and the the sunglasses from the end of Captain America 2. So, and the costume's perfect.
Yeah.
And
It's pretty easy to pull off. It's a hoodie and sunglasses.
it's not as easy as you think.
It's pretty easy.
Okay, well, I made it perfect. Either way. It was
It
difficult.
was the right hoodie and the right sunglasses.
and the right jacket and the right sunglasses and the right hat and the right goatee and everything.
See? He's a professional.
And-
He's got it.
For anybody
Oh, is this
listening,
why you're shaved?
yeah, this is
now
why I
today?
had to shave, because I shaved an actual goatee
Why
nice.
didn't you leave it?
because it looked awful.
I would have liked to see that.
It was acceptable only for the costume, not for actually walking around. I had that. As a matter of fact, that day I'd gotten ready, and Betty needed something from ShopRite, so I had to take Tyler with me because I was already in the costume. I'm like, put your costume on and come with me, so people don't think I'm just a weirdo.
with a 90s boy band goatee.
I'm like, yeah, they're gonna see him dressed as Spider-Man. They're gonna be like, oh, it was a cute kid in costume and his weird dad. So
No, I saw the picture. You sent me the picture. Mm-hmm. Now, if I didn't know you were Nick Fury, it looked Unabomber-ish.
Yeah. That's
So good,
pretty much what the costume is.
well, that's the thing. I wanted only like other nerds to know what it was.
Yeah.
But and here's the thing, no blackface involved. Isn't
Yeah.
that amazing?
Amazing.
Yeah. Guess what?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I was gonna say there's one glaring
yeah. He
thing that's missing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no, that's the whole idea is you can dress up like somebody from a different race without having to do blackface.
Yeah,
It's
well,
true.
but, if you didn't know you were Nick Fury, you also look like just a really handsome white guy.
Is that like a come on?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, how I feel about you, Steve.
But anyway, so we're dressed up now. Betty, I got her the whole get up to be Captain Marvel when she's in like normal clothes, so it would be
the
perfect.
9-inch nail shirt. and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be when we walk around trick or treating, we can be comfortable and still be warm and
Nice.
everything's good. So now we're going to the party, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, me and the two other moms we're gonna dress up as Alvin and the Chipmunks." Mm-hmm. I was like, "Oh," so I'm just like, I look like just a guy in a hoodie with a hat now,
Yeah.
with a painted on scar. She's like, "No, it's fine." I'm like, "Okay, but I guess this really isn't the right crowd to get this costume."
Yeah.
So all right, whatever, I'll live. We get there, nobody's in costume.
No.
Really?
It's just
really?
just the kids. Like Betty's like, oh no, we have costumes on. Like they're wearing just like different colored t-shirts, and they have a little
Yeah,
like
the little nose
chipmunk
thing.
nose painted on the tip of their nose. That's the costume. Like,
And
so-
the ears.
like the other husbands, they're wearing regular clothes. Like the one girl, her mom and sister, and they were there. Like no costumes. I was like, baby, you told me this was a fucking costume party. She's like, oh well, no, it's okay. No, it's not okay.
No, it's not.
I'm in this ridiculous getup, and I shaved.
Don't they recognize me? I'm the Unabomber.
It ruined the night for me. And plus, like, I was the only like non-fluent Spanish speaker there, so that was
That's tough.
A little outcasted.
At first I
Can't
was
explain that you're in costume.
I was like, no, it's a Nick Fury. As they marvel. I had to show him the picture. I'm like, no, this is what I am. So, and then of course I'm trying to understand the conversations, and the more beers I drink, the less I understand. So eventually I just kind of tuned out. Everybody's talking in Spanish, and they're like, what's wrong with your husband? Oh, no, he's fine.
He's fine. He's just over there being very, very white.
Oh, that's funny.
Man.
How often do you dress up, AJ? I know Drew and Will dress up.
I haven't dressed up in years. You know, it's a lot of time and effort. And I don't have that. I don't have that.
The time or the effort?
Both. I mean, look at me. You know what I mean? When we first started dating, me and Kristen, for a couple of years, I played the game.
Shout out to Kristen.
Yeah. She's pregnant 6 months actually.
Hey,
Congrats.
Thank you.
Salud.
Yeah.
Chindan.
Yeah.
To long life, not the pregnancy.
Yeah. 3 more months. She's doing good. I'm proud of her. But I roped her in, boy. I dressed up for Halloween and everything, man. Mm-hmm. Once the marriage came, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I was more into giving out the candy. I like when the kids ring the doorbell. And you get a lot of kids around here?
Not really.
Oh, I get a ton.
The light in front of the house doesn't work, so they just assume that we're not giving out candy.
I didn't even buy any. I got to pick up. I get a lot of it because I get so many kids.
Really? Do you give out the full sizes?
No, and I'm not that. But I do give out more depending on if I like the costume, you get a little extra love. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like if some fucking 16-year-old cement head shows up in my house with like a Cowboys fucking jersey on.
No, you ain't getting shit.
Fucking half roll of pennies, bitch. That's what you're getting.
Wrong state for that jersey.
Yeah, get out of here.
Half roll of pennies. I never heard that.
You never got that when you were a kid? Like you go to it's like an old lady ring. She answers the door and she gives you a hat. You never got that when you were a kid?
No, if they like if they like my costume, they would bring me in and they would make me drink out of this chalice, and then I would wake up later.
The best were the people that would just leave the bowls out. They just leave the bowls out and say just take one. I would just take the whole fucking thing every time.
Who didn't?
Yeah.
Of course you.
If I got to that bowl and there was still
pretty much
candy in it, I assumed I was the first person to get to the bowl.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
You take it all.
Yeah,
And the bowl went with me too.
Yeah.
Just put the whole bowl in the bag.
Dick.
Did you guys growing up? Did you go? Was the night before like a
Mischief
big thing?
night?
Shift night? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, in Lodi they called it Goosey Night, which I never understood.
Goosey night.
Nobody ever calls it that, and everyone gives me that look when I call it that. Shout out to Lodi. I don't get it.
But what does that mean?
I have no idea.
Because that's not a word.
I don't know. They call it that. It's still. I don't know. Is that still a thing? The kids still do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do, but
It's not as-
it's not as much as it used to.
Because every year, like the night before, I get my wife and I'm like, we gotta get all the cars in the end of the driveway. Pull up all the way to the end. And she's like, why? And I'm like, it's fucking Goosey Night. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What is Goosey Night?
Are you worried about birds and waterfowls?
I never had fucking to this day. Never had shaving cream on my door handles though. In the
You
morning.
will this week. You know why? Because you said something.
Fucking Goosey Night.
What about you, Will? What are some of your most accomplished costumes?
Accomplished costumes. Well, I'm sure you've seen. Now that we have kids, it's every year. It's a theme, and my daughter's a redhead, so we kind of let her pick the main character, and then we kind of go off of that. So, I mean,
What does her being a redhead have to do with you letting her
She always
pick?
finds a character who's redheaded.
I thought you were implying, like, what, you feel bad?
Yeah,
You feel bad that you
the ginger. Let the ginger pick. It's fine. You go first. It's your choice.
Picking, though. I mean, like.
Yeah, I know. I think eventually we'll run out. We had Annie, Ariel. Who else do we
I
have?
immediately went to Wendy's. That's how I am.
I can't wait for that one. I'm looking forward to that. I want to be Dave Thomas so bad. What else did we do? We did Nightmare Before Christmas. Sally's sort of redheaded. That was probably my most extensive thing that I was Oogie Boogie from that movie.
Oh, okay.
But I created the costume out of burlap.
Nice.
I spent so many hours in the basement just putting it together. And
my
it
wife's
came out
favorite.
really well. Yeah.
Did you guys do the Addams Family, too?
We did not do the Addams Family. I don't even, to be honest, it's been so many things. I don't even remember what they are anymore. This year, it's my daughter is Poison Ivy because
Okay.
Milo wants to be Joker.
Nice.
He's got
Of
the
course.
hair for the Heath
Yeah.
Ledger Joker. So I'm Batman, and my wife is Catwoman.
Cool.
Or I think she's Catwoman.
You hope she's
I
Catwoman.
hope she's Catwoman. Well, I mean, she could be.
She could be
Batman,
Batman. You could be
whoever.
Catwoman.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at Batman. We've
You guys should have just all done, like, all villains. Done the Rogues Gallery.
yeah, that would have actually
too
been
late
cool.
now.
That would have been cool. But I already have a Batman costume.
Oh, so you should have been like Mr. Freeze or something like
Mr.
that.
Freeze is
that
good.
nobody does.
Yeah. Arnold
There's a reason
Schwarzenegger,
for
Mr.
that.
Freeze.
Yeah, that's a little easier for you being bald.
That's true.
That's a great idea too.
Yeah.
I should do that.
Yes, you should.
All right, everyone, chill, cool party.
That movie is so bad.
Oh man, I just think of Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, and I want to cringe.
Oh, that was
Yeah, I know.
What about you, Drew? Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say like that's like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin were bad when they made Tommy Lee Jones a bad actor.
Oh,
Yeah, that's really bad.
He just seemed like he was trying to top Jim Carrey the whole time.
yeah, like it's so over the top. Since we're talking about Batman, let's make a sidetrack into Joker.
Okay.
Now, I did a solo episode a couple weeks ago, and I started talking about it, and I realized I need other people. Oh God, I'm
okay?
you know I'm getting
Are you
old
okay?
when I'm like talking through burps, you know.
Just zero fucks given.
Yeah. So yeah, I was saying that I saw the movie and I had a lot of thoughts about it, but I don't want to just rant and just shout into the abyss. I want to have other people here who've seen it.
Yeah.
Now, Drew, AJ, you've both seen it. Will has not.
I
and
have not seen it.
You've already given us the go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
For
Spoil it,
spoilers,
please.
So anybody listening, spoiler alert. Although at this point, if you haven't seen it yet, I don't think you're going to.
Yeah, I would like to think
At
so.
least,
Well,
at least in the theater.
It's been like
Yeah.
a month now, almost a month already, right?
Yeah, it was
3 weeks.
It's now the highest-grossing R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And beat Deadpool.
of all time?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool was highest right above Matrix, and now
Which I
Now
never
this
realized
one's-
The Matrix was
I
rated R.
didn't think they
Yeah,
were
me
rated
neither.
R. I thought it was PG-13.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
I guess
I
with
really-
I guess with all the violence, all the shooting and everything, it ended up there.
There's really not a lot of blood in that movie.
There's really not.
No, there's not.
Death.
Or sex or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I remember, I didn't even think about it, but I remember the other day Ryan Reynolds posted a thing like
Yeah, I saw
kinda
that.
congratulating, Joker, and it's all a list of like all the characters and stuff that are now not the top R-rated movie, like Pennywise, Neo, Deadpool. Like it's just a whole list of them.
Wow.
So,
It's impressive.
Yeah,
first thoughts. Like, what did you guys think of the movie?
it's a
Loved it.
fantastic movie.
I did love it. Yeah, I thought it was
I
excellent.
thought it was amazing. And I can't wait to see it.
I really want to see it again, just because I really did like it a lot. He was amazing.
Yeah. It was a very, very well done acting job and everything. The script was great. I pretty much knew this going in, but not a comic book movie at all.
Yeah, it's really not.
Like, and this is kind of what I had expected going in, like that it was very much like just a piece on sort
Character
of
piece.
mental
Yeah,
illness
you
character.
take away the Thomas Wayne stuff, it's really has nothing to do
has
with
nothing to do with
comics at all.
Yeah. But they basically wanted to sell it under the guise. Actually,
Yeah.
he literally, the director, Todd Phillips, literally said to Joaquin Phoenix, like, we get to do an art film under the guise of a superhero movie.
Yep.
You know?
But I think if they had not made it a comic book movie and about just a guy that was a crazy clown, they kind of had to make it tied into the comics somehow, because everyone would be like, oh, it's a fucking Joker movie.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it really does have nothing to do with the comics. And
No.
the whole Thomas Wayne thing, the only thing that's comic book related is that the guy's name happens to be Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing to do with Batman or the whole
Nope.
mythos of Batman. And it's... The thing with this movie is that it really shines a light on the stigma attached to mental illness and, like, the way we as society can just... It's kind of like sight unseen, like
Write it off.
Brush it off.
yeah, we write it off, and like we just say, oh, well, that's poor guy, but it's not my problem. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, like we look at people with mental illness and it's like, Jesus Christ, like I don't want to sit next to that guy. But at the same time, it's like, well, like what do we expect of these people? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like what do we expect of people that have this illness or this multitude of illnesses? Obviously, it's not just one thing. And the thing that really fucked my head up, that now, like I've actually am looking at things differently, is the whole who was De Niro's name? Murray Franklin.
Franklin.
Yeah.
That whole thing with him where they're showing the clip of him on stage, like just bombing basically.
Yeah.
And they're busting balls. Mm-hmm. There's so much stuff out there in real life like that, where they show like videos and like YouTube videos of like people either maybe crazy people or people doing stupid stuff, and everybody just like laughs and piles on.
Yeah.
Without a thought to the people in the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
very
mean?
true.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
one
true,
of,
but-
I mean, one of my favorite podcasts, and not to knock on these guys, but Tom Segura's podcast. Like, one of the big things they do is they have videos of people that are, you know, either fucked up or actually have mental illness.
Right.
You know, and I've sat there and cracked up, cried laughing at the stuff, and now I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, fuck, like, you know, maybe they can't help them. Maybe it's not their fault. Like, and we're sitting here laughing at their expense.
What are you gonna do? I mean, what are you supposed to do? You're not gonna. It's not gonna stop. That's never gonna change.
I know, and but that's the thing. It
Always
makes
laugh
me
at things that are different.
It makes me now look at that behavior like shit. Like I can't enjoy it now because I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like, oh, poor me. I'm just saying it's changed
still,
my perspective.
I think it's still fresh in your mind. Like, you know, maybe not laughing at somebody that has like severe mental illness, but you can go on Tom Segura's podcast and he shows a video of a person being a drunken idiot and falling on their face, and you can laugh at them.
That's way worse than that.
That's okay.
They got Robert Paul Champagne on there.
Oh God, that guy's so creepy, dude.
I'm not familiar.
I am going to show you after the episode.
I can't wait.
It is going to change your life.
Fair enough.
But that's the thing. Like, fuck, that's a real guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're sitting here cracking up, and who knows what's going on in this guy's head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now they've basically made him.
I think we all know what goes on.
Oh yeah, he's very open about it.
Well,
he's an older gay man, and he's into African American men.
Okay.
He's very open about his desires.
Gotcha.
He recently got kicked off of YouTube for jerking off in a video.
Jesus.
Yeah, guys, all sorts of fucked up.
Well, also it was years ago. You know, I don't know if he still has him on his show, but Howard Stern had that the guy Beetlejuice on his show. That
he's from New Jersey.
Yeah, he's from New Jersey.
Okay, just constantly ripped.
A guy I
on
work
this
with knows him. They went to school together.
Oh, nice.
Perm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Big Perm. Shout out to Big Perm.
Yeah. That's crazy. Fucking Beetlejuice. I don't know. He made fun of him for a long time.
But they said in school they called him Little Head Lester.
You know, it was going on for a long time. You know?
Yeah.
And now he's making money off of it.
I don't know if he's doing that good.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's on the Howard Stern show anymore.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's even still around anymore.
I don't
know if he might have passed away.
I don't think he did. He used to be. He used to do
you know him?
Comedy.
Did he call you at home?
No. Yeah. Me and Lester go way back. No, I actually a friend of mine is a comedian, and she would do shows with like Bob Levy. Mm-hmm. They used to do it over at the Denellen Theater.
Okay.
So they used to do shows over there, but Beetlejuice used to go, and like you had a lot of those whack packers. That's what Howard Stern would call them, like Jeff the Angry Dwarf or Jeff. No, it was Hank the Angry Dwarf. That guy died. The drunk dwarf. Hank, the drunk dwarf.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But again, same thing. Just bring these people on who are...
Out of all those people that were on the Stern show, the most fucked up one is... The normal one is Artie Lang.
Oh, Artie.
Yeah.
He's all jacked up.
Yeah, he is. Matter of fact, the same comedian, she just opened a show for Artie Lang.
Yeah.
He's back to doing comedy. He's
in rough shape, dude.
Yeah.
He needs the cash, I'm sure.
Yeah. But people will still go.
And not like, can you explain to me what the fuck actually happened with his nose? Did it just cave in?
I think it just caved in. He did so much drugs.
Supposedly it was there was a glass or something in Coke, and it just kind of shredded his nose or something. I forget where I heard that, but
well, that's fun.
It's rough, man.
That sounds like a fun time.
Oh my god, I don't want that monkey on my back.
No, that's scary.
But anyway, back to Joker. Yeah, I mean, it was a well-made movie, and I think there was a lot of people worried that like, oh, well, it glorifies this whole like mass shooter kind of
No,
archetype.
I think it was the exact
It
opposite.
really doesn't.
But that's, I mean, people that are saying that I think just haven't actually seen the movie.
Yeah, they know it's going to be violent. And they know.
The most popular thing that came out of that movie is those stairs.
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
God! People that live on that block.
It's in the Bronx.
Yeah,
They hate it.
They hate it. They're like throwing eggs at because there's people dancing on the stairs all the time now.
Wow.
Yo,
So one guy was just throwing eggs at the people dancing on the stairs the other day.
Yeah, seriously, anybody
Wait
listen?
till fucking Goosey Night, bro.
He brought it back.
Yo, but seriously though, anybody listening, don't go fuck around in the Bronx, bro. They do not play.
Yeah.
Nope.
That is one of the parts in New York that has not been pacified, so to speak. Like Bronx is still a tough neighborhood.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But what the hell was I going to say? Yeah, I don't think the movie glorifies that whole like lone wolf kind of. Like, because you were saying like, oh, it's that's like basically like the incel community, when me and Will talked about. But it doesn't glorify it. It's actually showing you like how rough it really is. Like, there's nothing glorious about watching the movie. It's pretty dark and extremely sad.
Right.
Like, this guy like went through so much shit. Yeah. And say, oh my God, no! Like, who wouldn't come out fucked up from that? You know,
right?
Yeah, the way they take him off his meds and he gets cut. The government cuts the funding.
Yeah, it's also a bit of like I guess it's not even really an allegory, because it's just like straight up saying, yeah, this is the way it is. All this government funding cuts to public health programs.
Yep.
And what is going to happen to these people?
Yeah.
Like back when it was in the 80s when Reagan, he closed down all like the state hospitals for the. I guess at the time they called them for the mentally insane. They called the sanitariums.
Yeah.
And all those people ended up out on the street, and that's one of the reasons why we have such a huge homeless problem now.
Yep. Very true.
But yeah, man, there's a lot of layers to it.
Well, I think part of what that movie does, the way everything plays out, is that I don't think it glorifies violence because it doesn't actually make you relate to the character. Like, it makes you feel for him and understand him and everything.
They show him as
but
sympathetic.
But like, if you take, for example, Sons of Anarchy, I realized this watching that show, that like, you're going through the show and like, you're like rooting for the Sons of Anarchy, and like, when they do this and, they beat these guys, and it's like, you're rooting for like murderers. And,
they're legit bad guys.
Yeah. That, like, when you really think about it, it's like, I'm rooting
Sopranos,
for
the same thing.
because
they do terrible shit.
Yeah, they
Very
make
true.
you relate to the character, and like they make them the hero.
Yep.
Like they don't make him the hero of this movie. Like, they make you understand what he's going through and everything, but you don't
Why
relate
he
to
is
him.
the way.
So at the end, you're not like, yay, he won, I'm so happy. Like, he shot Robert De Niro in the face. Spoiler alert.
Oh shit!
Sorry, you said you were okay with it.
I was lying.
I kind of saw that coming at the beginning.
What was the line that he said to him too? Like, what do you get when you take a mentally ill loner?
When you cross a mentally ill loner, and I forgot the rest.
Yeah, and
he said you get exactly what you fucking deserve.
and you treat him like
And
garbage and all this stuff. So what do you get? He's like, you get exactly what you fucking deserve, and he fucking blew him away.
That was
right on
fucking
live
awesome.
TV.
Beautiful.
Because Robert De Niro's character is kind of like a Johnny Carson type.
Don't say beautiful. You're not supposed to relate to him.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I apologize.
But yeah, that was like him taking his revenge on all the people that wronged him.
Yeah.
And that guy was like his idol, and ended up making fun of him on the show.
You know what they did really good was like his own fantasies, like in his head. Remember, like he fantasized himself in the crowd
in the beginning,
and he's like, "Oh, if I had a son, I would wish I would want him to be like." Yeah, it was fucking genius, man.
Yeah.
Well,
it was
well,
genius.
Actually, part of them doing that so early and making it so apparent that was
to establish
vision,
that he's having these fantasies.
So you don't know what happened in the movie. Like, what was
Yeah.
because
We
we're
were
looking
talking
at
about that
everything
at work.
from his perspective. So what's real? What's
Exactly.
not? Like
There's the whole-
There's theories that the whole movie was in his head.
Yeah, because there's the whole thing with Zazie Beetz where you think that's his kind of girlfriend.
I
and
knew.
Yeah, and then they have this whole relationship, and then it
We're
turns out
spoiling
he
everything
imagined,
for you.
That's okay.
but it turns out he imagined the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because at one point, like when things are going really bad, like, he walks into her apartment, he sits down on the couch, and she comes out of the room like, "What are you doing here?" He's talking. She's like, "Your name is Arthur, right? You live down the hall." And then you're like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And like the whole thing was
And
imagined.
it flat. I knew that the whole time. I was like, she's way too pretty to be hanging out.
Well,
with
that
him.
I knew something didn't add up there.
Yeah.
Something's rotten in Denmark.
Uh-huh.
You never heard that one either, Mr. Goosey Knight?
That's gonna keep coming back.
I'm in Denmark. I'm gonna hold on to that one.
Put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Keep it. Save it.
Yeah.
You guys, you want more sangria?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
You keep hosting.
We got that sangria, bro. That sangria has made a couple appearances on this damn show.
That's
Lola Rosa or something like that.
nice.
It's $6 at Trader Joe's.
Beautiful.
And it's
But
delicious.
there's only 2 Trader Joe's in the state of Jersey that sell alcohol.
Really?
The Westfield and Princeton.
Is the one over here going to?
I don't know. I hope so.
so.
That'd
What,
be
are you getting
fantastic.
one?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, they're building one right over here, like
opening
2
on
minutes
Friday.
away. Is it? Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. This is good. I'm sure everybody wants to hear about this.
Sorry
though.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, that's my
It's
fault.
local, you know.
Yeah. No, man, I got people in, in different countries that listen. I got a couple of people in
Denmark?
Finland.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did have somebody in Denmark, but
Well, now you're gonna.
now you know how that went.
That went rotten.
Oh, nice.
Let's go back to scary movies though, because we really didn't touch on that. We kind of brushed right over it.
I'm gonna lay back off this conversation a little bit because
Well, no. Here's the thing: is that everybody has seen scary movies as a kid,
Absolutely.
or they had ones that they liked. Like, do you remember being impacted by scary movies? Like maybe you saw one that was too scary, too young.
I can tell
The
you
Exorcist.
the
Yes.
one I can tell you the one that got me was Event Horizon.
Oh, it's a great one.
Still one of
I
my
think I've ever
favorites.
seen that.
That's
Yeah.
a fucked up one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
What did you say to me at work? Fire in the Sky.
Oh yeah, Fire in the Sky.
Fire.
The alien
I won't
attack.
watch that movie, man. I remember seeing the trailer from that when I was a kid and being freaked out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what fucked me up? The opening credits to the X-Files, to the show. Not the show itself, just
Right.
the opening credits.
Yeah,
because there
I
was,
could see that.
You know, it shows all the different like paranormal like images and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's one where it shows like a guy's face, and it kind of like goes up in a swirl. It almost looks like Zordon from Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But it shows his face going up, and he's like screaming, like, "Ah!" Like, and for some reason, as a kid, it really disturbed me. Like every time.
I can see that.
I think I had like dreams where in the dream it wasn't like a real dream where you're out doing stuff. It was almost like the whole dream was just a feeling, you know, and it was like being stretched.
Interesting.
It was weird, and it's like not
yeah,
even
there's
like,
something wrong with his
Yeah,
brain.
there is
but
definitely
not
something
his
wrong
brain
with
is
but no, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm fucked up a little bit, but it wasn't like my body being stretched. It was like I wasn't like a tangible thing. Like if I was like a, I don't know, like a
This is actually starting to
ethereal.
explain a lot of things.
Okay.
It was weird, man. I don't know how to describe it, and nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
No, we don't either.
Like imagine you're you, but you don't have a body. You're just like a presence,
Okay.
and imagine that presence is just being stretched. That's what the dreams were, and I was a little kid, and it fucked me all up, man. Like I used to wake up screaming, sweating, like
Really?
terrified.
I used to dream
Oh, yeah.
about. I used
weird,
to dream about werewolves.
And we're back to AJ laughing at people with mental illness.
Oh, mine was Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Oh yeah,
I
that
was-
scared the shit out of me. When
I
a
was relatively young when it came out, and I remember my parents let me stay up until when it came out. I think they actually showed it at midnight, and I had to be 3 or 4, and so that's why we do that to my kids now, because I was raised that way. Yeah, I remember like actually legitimately running out of the house at midnight screaming, and I think that's where it started. But then
Jesus.
after that, I scare wise, I think I had that ruined for me because I haven't seen anything that physically scared me. I have like no fight or flight when it comes to stuff like that. Jump scares, it's just
Really?
yeah, it doesn't faze me at all.
Like someone jumps out you and you're like,
Oh,
hey,
I mean, you know,
hey, how you
there
doing?
is that element of surprise. Of course, you're gonna
Yeah.
catch me off
jump
guard, but
scares
like,
don't bother me as much as like The Exorcist does. That's not a jump scare movie. That's
No.
just terrifying.
Well, that was one that fucked everybody up when
Yeah,
it first
very
came
much
out
so.
because there was
Very much
nothing
so.
like it at the time.
no,
When
not at
I
all.
first met my wife, she had an apartment with her sister, and there was a computer in the living room. And one day I had an argument, we were fighting, bickering about something, and her sister left. So my wife was like, I'll fucking get her. And she went on her computer and changed the background picture of the Exorcist face.
Which one, like to the girl's face or
No,
the
like
demon face?
like the demon, like the Pazuzu fucking
Yeah.
face, man.
Oh.
Like that's what it is,
Pazuzu,
man.
that's
Pazuzu,
his demon,
yeah.
The name of the demon.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I miss that? That's in the movie and I missed
There's
it?
like flashes of it. And
yeah,
shit.
no, that part always fucked me
Horrifying.
Yeah.
And just put it there and left because she knew she didn't know how to change it back. And we left, went for a ride and everything. Her phone rings and she answers it. Get back here and change this fucking thing now. And we were like, we better get back there. Fucking-
too. Do you remember?
Freak it out.
yeah.
Do you remember they used to have those things where it's like on the computer, find Waldo. You have 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're like, get your face up to the screen and all of a sudden like the face
yeah,
jumps
yeah,
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I always
I
wanted to
saw
punch the
I saw
computer.
videos of like guys who did that to like their small children and like just like the kids on the floor crying.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
I'm trying to think. The movie that really, when the first time I saw The Shining, I was in high school, and it wasn't like I was scared, but I was like very deeply unsettled by watching
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's not
a
really
good
a
one.
scary movie, but it's just something about it. That's
It's
my other
because
movie.
it's Kubrick, It's
it's
the
a
story.
movie.
The story itself is creepy enough as it is, but then with Stanley Kubrick, with the way he sets up the shots, and there's all such weird shots, like the way like it makes you feel like you're there, and it's a sense of like
Dread.
almost like claustrophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I
you
can't
could say
watch
that.
it. I can't
Really?
watch it all the way through.
Really?
Those 2 movies, I just can't. Plus the whole moon landing thing.
Oh yeah, are you like Fire in the Sky has that one scene where the guy actually is abducted and the aliens are chasing him. And
I just remember the trailer to like there was some dude getting like waterboarded or something like that.
It's
man.
not-
And I was
no,
like,
It's like, kind of like, yeah.
Well, it's
You
like-
had that
yeah,
thing wrapped around.
yeah,
it.
that freaked me out when I was a kid.
it looked like
man.
that fucking weird like sex club thing where they wrap you in latex.
Yeah, latex.
Oh man.
But they had him like trapped in the thing with the little like eyeball sticking out, and they were like shove shit down his throat. He's like,
But the
it's creepy and it's disturbing and unsettling.
It is. It is.
I saw it as a kid too.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember. I must have been like in and out of sleep, and my dad was watching it, and I remember them walking. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I better go back to sleep. My biological father used to just rent whatever the fuck he felt like, and it's like, oh yeah, I have kids, so what? No big deal. They'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
So
remember-
what was yours that really fucked
Shining.
you up?
The Shining.
his
but
was The Shining.
I was a little. No, his was
Oh,
Exorcist.
The Exorcist.
Oh,
He
Exorcist.
started to say
You're-
The Shining,
yeah.
but
Okay.
Yeah, I saw The Shining in high school, and it fucked me up a little bit. Honestly, the scariest movie I ever saw to this day only came out a few years ago. Hereditary,
Hereditary is a really, really good movie.
and it's directed by Ari Aster,
Yep.
the same guy who directed Midsummer that just came out this year.
Which Midsummer I actually unfortunately fell asleep through, but I heard it was pretty. My wife told me it was.
It was Midsummer's
Yeah, it
not
was
a
weird.
horror movie.
Right. Right.
It's really weird. It's a movie done by a horror director, but is much more layered than just a simple horror movie. But anyway, Hereditary, Hereditary. I watched that on a plane
Did you
coming
really?
back from Europe, and I was still like there's
Oh, I
parts
think
in the
you told me
movie.
about
Yeah,
this.
there's parts in the movie where I had to like pause and like take the headphones off. Like, is anybody else seeing this fucking shit?
No, they're not.
Oh my god!
poor guy next to me is watching it.
Like, I wanted to wake the guy up. Like, bro, did you see what just happened to her fucking head? Like, oh my god! I mean, to this day, I think that's the scariest movie I've ever seen.
There's a new one out called I think Parasite or something like that.
I
It's
saw the
supposed to be good.
I
I saw
didn't see
the ad for it. I have no
saw,
idea what
yeah,
it
I
is.
saw
the
that
ad
some
for it,
people
too.
have seen it over the last few days, some celebrities and stuff, and said it was really good.
Isn't it a Korean film?
I don't know.
I
Honestly,
don't know. I don't
I've
know
heard
what it
nothing
is.
about it.
I'm usually up on that, and I have no idea. I have no idea what it is.
You know what else? I liked Insidious, Part 1. I liked.
Yeah, Insidious was okay.
I mean, I don't know how well it really
I've
holds
never
up,
watched any of those, man.
but the first time I watched it, I remember like, oh, that was a cool movie. And then The Conjuring, the first one,
The Conjuring. Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Yeah. No, they were pretty good. All those those are all jump scary movies. You know, like the Paranormal Activities. And all
I
those
never
things.
saw any of those.
No, I mean, if they're on, we'll just kind of fall asleep to them.
I was big on the Evil Dead when I was a kid.
Evil Dead's
Yeah.
great.
Evil Dead was good
Absolutely great.
because the first one was like a true horror movie, but the second and third ones were
Yeah, they were
more
like
comedy, like
Three's
slapstick.
just straight comedy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness,
is
yeah.
the best. It is the best. Bruce Campbell's
Yeah,
just so
absolutely.
hilarious, man. So hilarious.
So there was no movie that like affected you.
Affected me, scared me. No, I mean I've seen some shit that you should never watch. You know, I've seen a lot of stuff that was like, I borderline like, could it have actually been real?
Like the old like Grindhouse,
kind of like
and
snuff
stuff?
films. I mean, but without the sex. I mean, you know, we actually have a friend I went to high school with has their own movie company out in Pittsburgh, and they make those low budget snuff films, and they're pretty damn convincing. Like,
Jesus.
yeah, very very good. Low budget, so it looks like it was just filmed on VHS, but you could be like, oh, somebody literally found this and they legitimately killed this person.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen a lot of
That
People
doesn't-
buy these?
That doesn't sound appealing.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you ever
they're-
see 8mm, man?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's what that made
yeah,
me think
no,
of.
they definitely
Yeah.
do. They
I
definitely do.
I'd never heard of that before that movie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
me
really,
neither.
yeah, no, these they aren't. They're just they're very well done to the point of making it look convincing that somebody was killed or whatever the case may be.
Just haunting that people get off to that. Like that there's actually a market for that.
No, there is a market for that. There's definitely a market for
That worries me.
No, there's
I mean,
a
I
lot
was
of
afraid of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freddy was always creepy. I remember watching the first like 25 minutes of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is like the only part of the movie where anything really happens in the original, at least.
Yeah, for the most part.
I thought Freddy Krueger was hysterical when I was a kid.
I remember watching.
Eventually, he became funny. Yeah.
I remember watching the one where there was the girl who lifted weights and he turned her into a roach and like crushed her. That freaked me out.
Yeah, that was Dream Warriors. Those he did. He started off as he's supposed to be kind of scary, but then it just the comedy kind of overtook.
Yeah.
And his lines were just slapstick one-liners.
Did you watch the documentary about the Nightmare on Elm Street movies? It was on Netflix.
No, actually, I didn't.
Yeah, it was a whole documentary about it, and then they were talking about how like the first one was a success, but then the second one they went into like this really weird direction with, and there was all this like weird like latent homosexual imagery.
There was.
And then like the third and fourth one just kind of went off the deep end a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but they're fun to watch.
They all did.
You know?
What was I listening to? I was listening to some podcast where one of the guys, you know, was one black guy. He was saying he saw Robert Englund in the fucking airport, and he was saying, "Yo, I saw that guy." I was like, "Yo, it's Freddy Krueger," and he was like, "Hey, you know, come on." I was like, "Yo, is it cool if I take a picture?" And he was like, "Of course." Yo, this man was cool as shit. And then there was some lady in line. I was like, "Oh my god, are you guys gonna?" Like, she was getting annoyed that they were like the line stopped. Yo, was like, "Yo, this motherfucker turned into Freddy." He's like, "Back off, lady." I can't remember what the fuck. I think that was on the Brilliant Idiots. But, oh man,
That's great.
I was crying.
Well, those are the horror movies that I liked growing up. Like we grew up with horror movies in the 80s and early 90s, like the slasher films and stuff.
Yeah.
With like Michael Myers and Jason and Freddy and stuff. And like that I could get on board with because it was like unrealistic. Like, you know, a guy who kills you in your dreams.
Hang on a sec. To a 7-year-old, Leprechaun is pretty realistic.
It's true.
Yeah, which even that went out off the rails. You know,
That went off the rails.
They're still making
They're still
Leprechaun
making
movies.
them,
Still
yeah.
are, yeah.
That one went off the rails straight off the dick, bro.
Yeah.
Right from the
Pretty
beginning.
much.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
true.
much.
No, but like I could get on board with those back then, but then like in the early 2000s and stuff with like Hostel and Saw and stuff,
Hostel was
I'm like,
fucked up, man.
I'm
Just
like, I don't
torture
even want to
porn.
watch this,
Yeah.
like because
Saw,
definitely
this is
another
shit
one.
that really happens to people.
Yeah,
like
that's
they get
not horror,
kidnapped
man.
in
That's
Europe.
One at a time,
and
one at a time.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're all
They
excited.
get kidnapped in Europe and like get tortured in a house. I'm like, this is actually happening while we're watching this movie. This is not appealing to me at all.
Yeah, those movies are no good.
It makes me like think twice. My sister, you know, she lives in Europe and she just goes all over the place. And she's like, "Oh, I'll just stay in a hostel." I was like, "Bitch, you crazy?"
Yeah, seriously.
They made the movie.
Yeah. That's not a movie. It's a
Something fine
documentary.
in Denmark, man.
Bitch, if you ain't careful, you're gonna be rotting in Bulgaria.
Oh shit.
I watched this one that I regret watching because it was just like it was difficult to watch. Green Inferno.
No.
It was basically like a cannibal movie.
Okay.
Where these people they was trying to be like a Greenpeace type thing, and they crashed, and I think it was like in the Amazon jungle somewhere, and they got captured by cannibals, and they just ate them. And it was like it's not scary. It's not a good story. It's
Right.
just it's torture porn.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
like, hey, how gory can we make this movie?
Yeah, there.
Let's show this guy getting his, eyes gouged out while he's still alive, and then they rip his arms and legs off and
Yep.
shit. Like while he's still screaming, like, "Oh, let's see if we can make this." Like, why? Why does this need to exist?
Yeah, no, that's
Who's watching this shit besides me?
me.
Yeah, I watched it and I regretted it.
That's the kind of stuff I don't know. I kind of went to that because of the shock factor. Extreme gore stuff like that. I would kind of like. It's not like it turned me on per se. It was just more like the shock value. Because nothing scared me, so I might as well watch something that's gonna like gross me out.
Yeah,
Cannibal Holocaust was a movie that I would just show everybody who came to my house. And it was like one of the original like found footage movies, and it was these.
I've heard of that movie.
Yeah, it was this guy who went to go look for this tribe, and they're filming, and then they end up being cannibals, and then all the shit that happens. It was one of the first movies that was banned in a shit ton of countries because they actually like killed a pig in the movie, like legit killed a pig. But yeah, it was one of those, just like gore. They impaled a woman on this big stake right through the vagina, up through her mouth, and like she's just naked sitting on this thing. Yeah, it was just one of those shock value movies.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was fun.
No, I don't like that at all.
Good times, man.
Like nothing about that sounds good to me.
No,
There's parts of Event Horizon that are pretty gory.
Oh yeah, that's that's what fucked me up with that movie.
That's one that me and my wife will revisit constantly. That's just got so many like quotable lines. It's such a great movie. It's one of Sam Neill's greatest movies.
Sam Neill's in that shit?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Sam Neill,
Grant?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, really?
Who else?
Yeah.
Jason Isaacs.
Definitely
Jason
watch
Isaacs.
it.
No.
Jolie.
No, thanks.
Jack Bloodworthy, Jack Noseworthy. What the hell's his name? Bloodworthy.
Jolie Richards.
Jolie Richards.
There was another. I don't know, there's a couple of people. It's an interesting concept for the movie. Like, long story short, they made this in the future, and they have spaceships, and they made the ship where it had like a hyperspace engine, basically. And
It created gateways to travel across space.
Yeah, instead of it being like an engine to propel you, it literally almost like created like a gateway so you could like jump through space.
It doesn't sound like a horror movie.
The problem is the gateway it created didn't just jump it through space; it jumped it to a different dimension, and the dimension was hell.
That's right.
Whoa.
Yeah, so when it came back, it disappeared for 7 years, and when it came back, shit was fucked up.
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So one specific thing that I always remember, and like now I can watch the movie because I know it's coming, but it'll still like make me jump a little bit. It's the jump scare where he's like walking down a hallway or something, and he like stops, and he puts his hand on the wall, and it just cuts really fast.
Yeah, you see the flash, like the images.
A flash of somebody's face, like just like cut up and all like gruesome and everything, and like this. They're screaming in the background and everything. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Well, there's one part where it's like they're looking on like the video logs to try to find out what happened.
Yep.
And it looks like it's basically like you're looking at people in hell, like they're all fucking mutilated.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I can't watch that.
But it's not like it doesn't show it for
Yeah,
like
they're
a
not
long
like
time.
burning. They're like inside the ship, but it's like just blood and things happening. And it's
really gruesome.
It's
And
One guy's got
really good.
he's holding the eyeballs. Yeah.
Apparently, I have a tendency to read IMDb trivia and stuff and things that people post about it. Apparently, they really toned down the violence in that movie to get it.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. There's some
to get like an R rating?
Yeah, there are some deleted scenes and stuff that are apparently just like
You know
horrifying.
shit. Yeah, you know shit is heavy when you have to tone it down to get an R rating.
Yeah.
That's,
No, I'll stick
Yeah.
to the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. When I'm in the mood.
Does your wife constantly want to watch Hocus Pocus?
No, surprisingly.
I constantly want to watch Hocus Pocus.
And that's right up her alley, too.
Bro, they show it on like ABC Family now,
yeah.
Yeah.
but it's on like every day.
Yeah. It used to never be on, and we had to buy it because my kids, or when really Olivia, when that was one of the costumes too. Going back
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember that.
I was dressed up as the Fat Witch. But yeah, it used to never be on TV, even at Halloween time, and now it's on 30 out of 31 days.
It's insane.
On Freeform, yeah.
It's been on, and it's been on every day in my house. Like it's not like they skip a day watching it.
You know what's weird about that movie?
And my wife is constantly walking around going, "Sisters!"
I love that.
And
You know what's weird?
then there's Tyler going, "Boo!"
That movie came out in July. Like it
Yeah,
did not come out at Halloween at all.
Wow.
Like I think probably like maybe they released it then, so it came out on video at Halloween or
Oh, yeah,
something.
maybe that's what
that would make sense, but it oddly came out in like July or something like that.
I mean, that's a movie I don't think really holds up.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't love it.
And Sarah Jessica Parker looks actually really hot in that movie.
It's the only time.
It's the only time.
The only time where you're like, God damn.
And then the guy from NCIS is the cat.
What?
Yeah.
NCIS. I never watched the show, but I recognize the face. That's the kid who plays
the more nerdy detective.
I've never watched this.
Sure. He plays the kid that turns it. He plays Thackeray that turns into the cat.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Incidentally, that's a made-up name.
Thackeray?
Yeah, Thackeray.
Yeah, I mean, who names their kid Thackeray?
I don't know.
Someone
Somebody
from-
300 years ago.
Someone from Ibiza.
What's your kid's name gonna be?
Where it was gonna be Mackenzie, and then my wife's changing her mind, so she's
Thackeray?
thinking maybe Thackeray.
Or Goosey? One of the two. Right?
So she's thinking maybe Madison now. So
Oh,
we'll see.
Very nice.
I noticed. Yeah, just a little timeout. AJ's holding a book. It's called Modern Manhood, Conversations About the Complicated World of Being a Good Man Today by Cleo Stiller. I recommend anybody pre-ordering this book. It's not out yet, but I have a copy. And I have a copy because I'm in this book.
What?
Yeah, I mentioned it here like 4 times.
Fuck yeah.
I did an interview with the author. It was actually right after the podcast started. So she found me through like iTunes directory.
Holla.
But yeah, shout out to Cleo Stiller because
Shameless plug.
yeah, I'm shameless plug. I'm in the book. Read the
Hi,
damn
Cleo.
book. I'm kind of hoping people that don't hear this will read the book and then eventually hear this.
I'm gonna have to read that.
Yeah, it's good. It's not a terribly long read, but it's good stuff. It's
A lot of pictures.
no pictures.
Oh, I'm out.
Yeah. I need pictures, at least in the middle. Like some books were having like that in like the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I just read those and then put it away.
Yeah, it's the glossy pages. You flip
Yeah.
it through paper. Glossy. Oh, yeah, we're sticking of these for a little while.
yeah. I think I get the gist of the book from this. Yes, go back to scary movies.
Yes.
We're talking about Event Horizon. What's another good one? Like a good scary movie that you guys can think of?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I told you I'm gonna lay
Some
back
of the
on
ones that you
scary
named
movie
already. I
one.
mean, The Shining's, that's one that I'll revisit.
Yeah,
Matter
it's
of
a
fact, that
classic.
was what we were for Halloween.
Did you ever read the book?
Yeah, of course.
I just finished Dr. Sleep, the sequel.
Oh, did you? That I didn't venture into.
I thought it was better than
Really?
The Shining. Yeah,
Wow.
They have the movie coming out soon.
They do.
that's why
I'll
do
check
too.
that out. I'll go see that. Well, I
Yeah.
won't go see it, but I'll see it when it comes on.
Well, you're gonna have to watch the first one all the way through.
I've seen it, not just all in one sitting. Well,
Gotcha.
but no, that was I actually liked like when I read the book for The Shining, like, and I hadn't seen the movie first. I know, like, Stephen King said, oh, I didn't like the movie because they changed so much. And I'm like, they really didn't change that much. But now, having gone back afterwards and rewatching it,
Yeah.
they did change one of the main themes of the book. The whole theme that they changed is that the relationship between Danny, the son, and Jack, the father, like, there's actually a lot of love there. Like, Danny really looks up to Jack, and Jack really loves Danny. Like, it's his boy, his son.
Yep.
And, like, that's very, very clear in the book. And in the movie, that doesn't come
It's
through
not
at
at
all.
all. Yeah,
at
not at
all.
all.
Like, Jack is
It's
just
a moon landing thing, man.
He keeps coming back to that.
Did you ever see? You didn't know about that?
No, what are you talking about?
The documentary on Netflix.
Everybody that thinks Stanley
Oh, the
Kubrick
Room
faked-
237 documentary?
Everyone that thinks he faked the moon landing.
Oh, yeah, I did watch that, actually. But seriously, like, that's really missing from the movie, and it changes the whole dynamic of the story.
It really does.
And plus, like, the whole relationship between Jack and Wendy, his wife, is, Jack is a struggling with sobriety. He's an alcoholic, and, like, there's still love between him and Wendy. And, like I said, in the movie, he's just a total asshole. Like, and it really changes.
They paint him in a very bad light. I mean,
Yeah, but the whole point is that in the story, the hotel, preys on his weakness, and it turns him into this guy and he's still able to kind of, like, he's still in there, but the hotel kind of makes him crazy, and he's almost reliving his own childhood trauma because his father was an alcoholic who beat the shit out of his mother.
Gotcha.
So he's running around chasing Danny, screaming at him the things that his father said to him.
Ah,
yeah,
So
see,
that's
those are the things that are missing from the film.
Yeah,
Puts it into a different light.
it does, and it really changes the way
you perceive the characters.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, Jack isn't really inherently a bad guy, but he's struggling with his,
Demons.
what's the hereditary alcoholism.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing with Dr. Sleep is that now it picks up, years later when Danny is grown up, where he's struggling with the same thing.
Ah,
But he uses the alcohol as a coping mechanism because it dulls the shining that he has. So he's not, he's not constantly haunted by the things that he sees.
interesting.
I'll watch the movie.
Definitely, the movie, but the story goes in a different direction because it's like the first one, The Shining, is just like a foundation, like to set up that whole world.
Yeah.
In which, like, there's more than one person with The Shining. Like, there's a lot of people out there who have it, whether it's a little bit or a lot.
Right.
And then there's, this group of people who basically prey on those people. And,
Gotcha.
It was a really good story. I really enjoyed it. I finished it in like 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to have to look at that.
I had the audiobook. I didn't really read it.
Oh, then I'm going to have to do that. I'll audible that.
Yeah, that's what I did. It
Yeah,
was
I'm gonna do that.
Totally worth it. Like I said, I finished it in 2 days because I had it on all day at work, and that was the day I worked overtime. And I'm listening. I'm listening to scary stories up on like the 28th floor where there's nobody around.
That's a good one. They just came out with Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the movie.
The movie, yeah.
It's awful.
I look bad. It looked bad.
Oh man, they tried, but they could have gone in so many different directions with it. But we wanted to show the kids, because we're good parents like that. And, they
I love those books when I was a kid.
yeah, and they're cool. And the concept of the movie was kind of, it was okay. Like the book just keeps writing itself, and the stories that they're writing, they go after certain characters in the movie that are, friends of the main character. And, they showed a lot of things like the girl with the spider eggs and it explodes. And then that weird frumpy woman that you remember the picture. If you saw it, she's just like kind of round faced, and like they show her coming after this guy. So like the little things from the book. Harold.
I remember
the Scarecrow.
seeing Harold.
I mean, that actually,
the
they did a good job.
You remember the book?
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
The guy that illustrated
Alvin
those
Schwartz.
was a friggin' genius, because those drawings that he did were terrifying looking.
Yeah.
And you can still even though we have the book, so of course I get refreshed constantly, but if we didn't, I could still remember those pictures. Like I could still remember the Harold picture
clearly.
and the black dog and like stuff like that. But yeah, they did a good job with Harold. But yeah, it's just not good. Not good.
Yeah, I didn't have high hopes for that one.
No.
Here's a movie that fucked me up when I saw it when I was young, but it wasn't a horror movie. Do you remember The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin? Where they're
in the woods.
Yeah, they crash
fighting a
landed
bear?
in like the Canadian wilderness, and they're getting chased by a bear.
I can't say I ever saw it.
Oh, I did.
Because it was actually 3 guys that survived the plane crash. It was Anthony Hopkins, Alec Baldwin, and Harold Perrineau.
Okay.
He was remember in the show Oz, he was a guy in the
I know.
wheelchair.
Yeah,
the narrator.
yeah.
Yeah, he
So-
was in Sons of Anarchy. as
Yeah, exactly. He was Damon Pope in Sons of Anarchy.
well. And he was in Lost, wasn't he?
He was in
Yes,
Lost.
he was
He's
in
in a lot
Lost.
of things.
Yeah, he's been in millions of things, but so he gets eaten by the bear, and you it's I don't know you hear the bear biting him, and you hear him screaming, and he's a good actor, so he really played it well. I think it's when you hear people screaming, that's what fucks me up.
Oh, really?
Like the agonizing screams.
Yeah.
Nothing fucks Will up. He's just
No.
yeah.
I was trying to think if there's anything like that, like Faces of Death. What about those? If you want to
Yeah,
go
I've seen some of
that
those,
far
too.
in. Half of those things were fake.
Were they really?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't real.
I remember I did see one of those. I think it was the Banned from TV series.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like a hostage situation at some mall in Brazil or something. So one of the hostage the guys was trying to sneak out the back, and one of the riot police saw him and literally just ran up to the guy with a shotgun and blasted him in the chest.
Yep.
Oh.
The guy wasn't even holding. He wasn't pointing a gun. Nothing. The cop just ran up, boom, right in the chest. But the thing that was fucked up is that when the guy pulled the trigger, you heard the guy that got shot go, "Ay, ay, ay!" It's literally in the video. And I'm.
We shouldn't be laughing at this.
Oh, jeez, I am. Sorry.
That's funny.
Was that edited in? Because or did he really say,
Well, that's really in there. I don't know if it was edited in or not. But I remember feeling so bad for laughing at that.
No, because I'm crying laughing. That just makes it, man. That I. Oh, man.
How much oh shit.
Here.
It.
Oh, you want to go back to that?
Let's go back to It.
Okay.
Let's start off with the original.
Okay. So
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
it's nostalgic.
It is. At this
and-
point, it's just nostalgia.
My wife and I have talked about this, as well as including other people in the same conversation. It's the way that they got away with it because it was made for TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they made it scary. Obviously, Tim Curry. I'm sorry. I think, I don't know. He'll always be Pennywise to me.
Yeah.
No matter what he's in, he'll always be Pennywise
his
to me.
Pennywise creeps me out.
Sorry about that. Serious. I wasn't even talking.
His
to
Pennywise creeps
No,
me
thank
out.
you, Friday.
His Pennywise
The new
creeped you
one.
out?
Yeah. His one is more creepy to me.
It is because it's like a real looking clown.
Yes.
Versus this new Bill Skarsgård one, which is just over the top. I mean, Tim Curry's was what a clown would look like.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made it scary.
Yeah, Tim Curry's the look was more accurate to the book.
Yeah, that too. That too. Whereas there was more stuff. Obviously, there's more stuff that they included from the book in the newer ones.
Newer ones, yeah.
You guys all saw the second one?
Yeah,
I haven't seen the
I
newest,
saw
the
the second one.
I didn't see the first one either, but what did they do? The giant spider?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I thought that it was awful.
Really, I liked it.
Yeah, no. I'm usually a purist when it comes to like remakes and stuff like that. And I saw the chapter 1 as a complete different movie. Even though it's still based on Pennywise, even though it's still based on the book, I saw it differently. I didn't see it as a remake. It was more of a retelling. And I thought it was actually pretty decent.
So how do you like the first one, not the second one?
I don't know. The second one fell flat for me.
Really? I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought the way they casted it was amazing.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the cast was great. And, you know, they kept talking about, I read, just like I do with spoilers, and I don't care about that stuff. I was reading about Bill Hader's performance, how he was.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I didn't think he was that great. I heard people saying Oscar, and I'm like, well, no.
Okay, that may be a little much.
Right. But still, like, I mean, I thought he was good, but I didn't think that he was even like the lead actor in that. The way that I heard it was like he was just he overtook the movie. The movie was his, and I was like, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I thought the guy that played Mike
Hanlon.
he played that part kind of like he was a little unstable in the head.
A little bit.
I don't remember. Was that because I'm not finished with the book?
I haven't read
Yeah,
the
it's
book
very long.
in a while, so I don't remember the character well.
It's
from
been
the
a long
book,
time
but
since I read it too.
It's so long.
It is very long.
the original movie. Mike was he was the most stable of all of the characters.
And in this one, they made him like he was a little kooky.
But I think that's kind of, if I had to make it, I would make it that way because he is the one who stayed, and he is the one who had the memories, whereas the rest of them, they lost the memories.
They moved on with their
you know,
lives and everything.
when they get the call, that's when everything comes flooding back. But they just had these new lives, and he's the one who had that in his head. So I don't know if I would keep the stable Mike Hanlon from the first one or like the second one. Just like he's lived around this,
Yeah.
you know, for 27 or 30 years, however many, you know, like there's 27 in the book, right? 27. 27?
Yeah.
27 years.
27
Yeah.
in the book, but it was 30 in the first movie. There's 27 in this one.
I did like how they showed in this and the new one in chapter 2. They showed what happened to Adrian Mellon, the
Yeah, that was-
gay guy in the beginning.
Yeah, that was the one thing that.
That's how the book starts off.
Right, exactly.
Did you
I don't
see?
remember.
You didn't see the second
I didn't
one?
see the second one, no.
No, and it starts off. There was in like present day Derry, where there was they're having like the fair, and there's this one gay couple that lives there, and they were getting harassed by this group of young guys, and the one gay guy, he basically just talking shit to them, and makes them look stupid. So they follow them and they start kicking the shit out of him. So they were beating them up, and they threw him over the side of a bridge into the river. But what ends up happening is that Pennywise grabs him while he's in the river and like takes a big fucking chunk out of his like rib cage while the boyfriend is watching.
Yep.
Oh,
And then the boyfriend's trying to tell the cops, and the guys that beat them up were saying, like, "Yo, we didn't do that," and then they got locked up for murder.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But it really, like, they're saying,
Yeah.
like, "What about the clown? What about the guy that was down there dressed as a clown?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And it was Pennywise, and they showed that in the movie, and they did a
nice.
really
Showed
good
that
job
in
of
the
it.
Yeah, no, they did. They definitely did a good job of that. But after that, I don't know. It kind of lost me.
I liked it. They tried to do the ritual of Cud. Mm-hmm. How do you pronounce it? Cud? Cood? Chud? How do they? It's
knows?
spelled Chud.
Chud.
Chud? I don't know. Like, and in the book, like, I haven't gone that far, but from what I've read, like, it's really, really fucking weird. Like,
Yeah,
Stephen King,
the ending of that book got real awkward.
yeah, like Stephen King is a weird ass fucking dude for
very
writing some of
weird.
the shit he writes. But yeah, they
Well,
kind of
seems to
did.
be working for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, Doctor Sleep was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I definitely want to check that out.
And it wasn't weird in the way it is. You know what I mean? Like it,
Right.
It all kind of makes sense, and it doesn't go too crazy.
Right.
But definitely worth a read for anybody out there listening.
I'm going to check that out.
Are there any scary movies that you guys do like, AJ and Drew?
Well, Evil Dead. That's about it. Like,
That's it.
yeah, no, I'm really not big on scary movies, and my wife won't even look at one. She won't even look at it. If I put
that's-
something on, she's like, "Turn this off right now," and I have to just
Yeah.
change the channel.
Well, that's the thing why I can't even really watch any sort of horror movies anymore is because Allison will not watch them. Like, she has no interest in them, and like she's not going to sit through that. So I can't even if there is something that I want to check out, like I have to
Watch it on your
I have to
own.
try and catch
Yeah.
it when she's not home or something.
That's a shame.
Do you guys get nightmares?
No.
I don't really dream. It's weird.
Yeah.
I haven't had a
You
dream
just
in a
don't
long
remember
time. I'm a very light sleeper.
Yeah.
Do you have sleep apnea?
I don't think so.
Do you like stop breathing in your sleep?
I mean, I don't know.
It could be one of the things because that's a symptom is that
Very
you're not
light sleeper.
sleeping deep enough to go to the dream state.
Probably. I don't know. No.
Keep an eye on that.
Doesn't anybody
Yeah.
have fucking nightmares? I used to have
My
terrifying.
wife
I told you I had
has
dreams,
dreams.
like my
Yeah.
stretching dream, my stretchy dream.
That's it. Yeah, that's a weird one.
But I had I had like night terrors as a kid.
Did you really?
My poor mother like would have to. It was like every other night. I would wake up screaming, and she would have to come in and like stay with me until I
Wow.
fell back asleep.
When I was a little kid, me and my sister had bunk beds, and my mom, I don't know why, but she had a statue of a clown. And I don't know why she had that. Why did she have to have that? And,
Why did you have to have that,
and
Mom?
it was like right outside the door to my bedroom. It was the statue of a clown. And I was like, I don't know. Like
I didn't
3 or
leave
4
that
years
there. I
old.
left it in my room.
I was like, "Bah, you gotta get this out of here. Listen, this has got to go.
This isn't
I
working
can't
for
sleep."
me.
She had to get rid of it. I think that's why I have a problem with clowns.
It could
Really?
be.
Yeah, because of that statue.
Well, I
Wake
I
up in the middle of the night to go take a
It's
piss,
just
and there's
like,
that dude
yeah,
just
it's like
looking
right
at you.
there.
Oh,
Like I
yeah,
can't go to the
I could see
bathroom. How
that.
am I supposed to walk past this thing?
I could see that.
I get that every once in a while now if I walk into the living room because Allison, she's a costume designer and she has a dress form, which is basically just like
That would creep me out.
just the shape of a body.
Yeah.
And like she leaves it, she'll like finish what she's doing and like leave it against the couch or in the corner or something like that. And I walk out to do something. I'm Jesus Christ!
Kick it over.
At my housewarming party, they know I don't like birds.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
So Louis, when I was down here, I was getting shit together. He snuck upstairs and he had this like it was like a lawn ornament type thing. It looked like a peacock.
Yeah.
And he set it up on my bed.
Yeah.
So first,
fun.
like Betty was here. We were only dating at the time, and then like she knew, so they sent her up to tell like, yo, check out. So she went up there. She saw, so she says, baby, you got to see what's upstairs. I'm like, fuck, what do these guys do? So I went upstairs and I saw it, and I was like, these fucking assholes. So I came back down, and she's like, do you see it? I'm like, see what? She said, what do you mean? It's right up in your bed. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. There's nothing there. And she started like getting freaked out. She's like, I know I saw something up there. And I was just fucking around.
Wait, no, I thought she went up there and
She
I
went
thought
up-
she went up and saw it and she came down and was like, there's a bird on the bed. And you were like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then you went up and came back down like, there's nothing up there.
Oh yeah, something to that effect.
But she went and saw it first. There was another time I decided to fuck with him years ago. I was having a party when I still lived at home.
Time out. Any listeners, is it that weird to not like birds? It's not that I have a fear of them. I'm
Yes,
just
you do.
I'm extremely grossed out by them.
It's not weird.
Why?
Your level is weird.
Yeah.
The way they move grosses me out. Like with a bird, it's not like they just like slowly turn their head or look up and down. It's just like all of a sudden they're looking left and like they're looking right now. Like there's no in between motion.
They're
It's
very
just-
attentive. If there was something in between,
It's
they would look
gross.
at It's gross.
Okay, it's fucking gross, and I don't like it, and I don't want it in my house.
right, fair.
If you have birds in your house, I'm not coming over. If I see pigeons on the street, I always try to like stomp and scare them away.
I hate pigeons.
I just don't like birds.
Well,
Hey, come here, Mr. Sparrow. No, thank you. Fuck off.
I was having this party years ago at my dad's house. My dad's a hunter, and he has a giant stuffed turkey in the
Yeah,
basement.
real classy, real nice.
Yeah, quality shit. Everyone at the time was mostly hanging out in the kitchen, and I realized eventually everyone's gonna make their way down to the basement to hang out and whatever. And I was like, somebody's gonna knock this fucking thing off. Like my dad had just killed this thing and paid a bunch of money to have it stuffed and put on the wall and everything. I was like, because he's classy. I was like, somebody is going to knock this thing off, and my dad's gonna shoot me and stuff me and hang me on the wall. So I decided I'm going to bring it upstairs into his bedroom and, hide it so no one can fuck with it. And I walk upstairs and there's Steve leaning in the doorway of the kitchen with his back to me. And I'm just like, I'm holding this turkey and I look at Steve. It's one of those things where you look at the turkey and then at him, and then back, and then and I just like I walked up behind him, and he's talking at the time, so everybody's listening to him.
I was holding court in the kitchen, you know.
Yeah,
Sure.
everybody's facing him and listening to him, and like I just sneak the head of this turkey over his shoulder, and like it took him a few seconds, but eventually he like jumped and freaked the fuck out and everything. And then I realized after I had done it, I was like, if there was any way for me to get that damn thing broken, that was gonna be that was how it was gonna happen.
You put him right in the line of fire, man.
I really did. Yeah.
Whoa, you almost got nunchucked. You don't even
I
know.
didn't realize.
You guys don't have any weird like things that like freak you out? I mean, obviously clowns and alien abductions for AJ.
Yeah, big time.
Zombies
Alien?
for Moose.
Yeah, I don't like alien.
Abductions?
Yeah, alien stuff freaks me out
That's
too.
not something
Yeah.
you really have to worry about.
Well, no, I know.
No,
Just alien
apparently
stuff.
now you do because they came out and admitted to UFOs.
Oh yeah.
Like the New
Yeah.
York Times and everything. Like the Pentagon confirmed it. Like, yeah, we've been seeing UFOs for a while now. This shit's out there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
do
there's
what you
nothing-
will with it.
But
Yeah.
then Snowden just had that interview at with Joe Rogan, and he said that when he
Yeah.
went through everything, he found nothing.
Yeah, okay, but he doesn't work for the Pentagon, and
CIA, he had
You
the
know.
CIA. I mean, they had nothing. They had
well,
nothing.
apparently there's a
So
ton
it's
of
either
information.
really, really, really hidden, or
No,
I
bunch
mean,
of bullshit.
UFOs. Yeah, I mean,
But you
know,
heard Rogan had all those interviews. Like he had like Bob Lazar,
Yeah.
and the one the Air Force pilot who
Yeah.
like said, "Yeah, this shit's fucking out there."
No, and it is. I mean, it's not that. Yeah, people have been, or pilots have been admitting that for a while. It's now just they're actually
Yeah.
saying it's okay. You know what?
Yeah.
we
Like,
admit
yes,
it.
you can say
We
that this
admit it.
happened.
It's fine. But
yeah. So
eventually,
aliens are real, guys.
I'm not
Well,
scared.
obviously they are. Like
Yeah.
it would be the universe is very vast. It would be very arrogant of us to think that we're the only living things in this entire
Yeah,
fucking
it's
universe.
highly improbable
Well,
that
it's-
we are.
it's-
Highly, highly improbable.
It may be arrogant, but it's not that improbable. If you think of how improbable it is that we even exist, you know, life is such a 1 in a billion chance.
And there's definitely more than 1 in a billion of us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying it's
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, it's that. It's
I tend to believe. I'm a believer.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's you know undeniable that you know.
it's just that the technology required, because there's nothing within our visible area. So to travel here, the technology needed would have to be
So,
way
yeah.
way beyond anything we could even possibly imagine.
Yet.
You know, well, yeah,
I mean, just watch Event Horizon again.
that's true.
So you could
That's
be
true.
Leonardo.
You just need Sam Neill
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
just, you know,
Just have Sam
It's a
Neill make a
wormhole.
spaceship and we're good.
that's it.
Man, that
Ben
movie's fucked
space
up.
time.
Did you guys see? What about The Grudge?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Grudge.
I never saw the original Japanese one. I
Those
saw
are the ones that
They're
I
remaking
watched.
it.
I always watched the Japanese versions first, the Ringu, and you know,
Me and Terry were just
Ju-on.
talking about that today.
The
Of
remake?
the original Japanese
Yeah.
version. How there's not CGI at all. Like in
Not at
the
all.
remake, like they make a lot of it with the girl is like CGI and the way her
They
movement
made it
is.
more creepy.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But the original one, it's all an actor actually doing these crazy like it's like she's like a contortionist basically.
yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and Terry was trying to tell me that was even creepier than the CGI version.
Yeah, no,
I
it
can
is.
But Terry's also one of the guys who like if a movie comes out and everybody loves it, he's like, the movie fucking sucked.
There's that guy, man.
He's 100% that guy.
movie sucked.
It's the worst thing I ever seen.
It's the highest grossing movie ever. Yeah, it's the worst.
Did you see Schindler's List? Yeah, it sucked. It's trash. Couldn't even afford color, the cheapskates. Everybody knows a guy like that.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
like a contrarian. What,
I had a dream about werewolves playing football when I was a kid. I was just going back to the dreams thing. I guess it was kind of a nightmare. I wasn't really scared of it, but I was the only human in the stadium.
And it was all werewolves?
All werewolves.
Were they like Teen Wolf werewolves or like werewolves?
No, like werewolf
big
werewolves. Yeah, no, werewolves. And they were just, fans, and then there were players, and I was the only human. But I was never like,
It was never addressed.
no, I was always scared that they were going to just like look over and be like, hey, who's this kid over here? But they never did. We just watched the game. And that was a recurring one too.
Really?
Yeah. No, it happened on more than one occasion.
I remember.
It's probably the only dream I can actually remember at this point.
I had a lot of scary dreams as a kid. I remember being chased by a Doberman Pinscher, but I was running through a room that was like a circular room. Like it was round. Like the floor wasn't flat. Everything was like, it was like a tunnel basically.
Oh, okay.
And it was spinning So I was trying to run and I kept falling. I couldn't get away, but the dog was chasing me. And
the dog was fine.
Yeah,
not
dog,
falling
he was
at all.
unbothered by it.
That's a good one.
I remember having a dream one time. I woke up and there was like a shadow figure. Like it was basically like a person, but they were completely black, like they were like a shadow or a silhouette, but they were just frozen. And there was like somebody standing over my bed. It was like a guy with like a hat and like a long, like it's like a detective. It looked like basically.
Fuck that.
And he was just kind of standing over my bed, but he wasn't moving at all. Like, what the fuck? And I got up and I went to look in my sister's room. There was another one, like it would look like a little kid trying to like reach up on an ironing board, like to play with the ironing board. Also frozen, like what? Oh, there's one for everybody, and I'm like trying to run into my parents' room. And then it turned out like the next day, my mom said that I woke up in the middle of the night and like sleepwalked into her room and took a picture frame off the wall and handed it to her.
That's great.
Which I don't remember that being part of the dream.
Did any of you ever, when you were young, like, you know, you get out of bed to go grab a drink or take a piss or something, then it's dark, you're walking through the house, and like you look and you go, oh, if someone was going to kill me, that would be a good place to hide. And then you're just like, shit! And now suddenly you're freaked the fuck out that somebody's hiding in the house, and like nothing had happened to what warrant you being scared at all. You just like psych yourself out. I used to do that shit all the time. Like I'd be going to the bathroom, and it's not like I had a long walk or anything. I grew up in little condos. Like it was like across the hall, and I'm like peering out into the hallway like, is it safe?
Well, it's like you when I go through the house without the lights on, because you know the layout of your house. You don't need the lights on. I'm not some chump.
No.
But then you see like the shape of something that's always there, but in the dark it looks like something else.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it looks like a person.
You mean a costume designer's dress form?
My wife, she like once in a while, like, and this has happened a couple times, like I'll go in the bathroom and there's like a butter knife or something like random thing in the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
And I'm like, what? Why is
fuck
there?
were you buttering in the bathroom?
I'm like,
It's
honey,
the toe knife.
I'm like, why is there I'm like, why is there a butter knife in the bathroom? She said, well, no one was home and I went to the shower and I was freaking out. And they said, what are you going to do? She said, I was going to stab somebody with a butter knife. That's what a butter knife was. Yeah, this was all I could find at the time.
It was a real professional job. It still had butter on it. Oh my god. I keep weapons all scattered throughout the house.
Can
Random.
we
You
talk
kinda-
about
you
the
kinda
middle
have
of
to.
that story where you randomly said it's the toe knife? That went right over everyone's head.
I know, I got me. I was laughing.
That was from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, I don't watch it.
Frank and Charlie live together like in squalor, and instead of using toenail clippers to cut their toenails, they just use like an old steak knife. It's a toe knife. Oh, I cut myself. It's like, quick, get an old sock and wrap it around.
Yeah, it's like random things. Oh, I was scared. All right, sure.
My wife won't. I don't even think she'll stay home alone.
Yeah, my wife wouldn't either. No, she would. But
I feel like my wife,
she'd be freaked out.
Betty and Tyler are both like they get scared by things. Tyler especially. Tyler, he hates being alone.
Well,
Yeah.
in his defense, he's 8.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
I know, but some kids like they're okay. They'll play in the room by themselves. Like he doesn't like being upstairs and being the only one up there.
Gotcha.
Oh, really?
Not a fan. Not a fan. Because his whole life he's never really been alone.
Right.
You know, they lived in a house where everybody was always together.
True.
So now, especially now when we get the new house, he's got his own room still, and
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. He's gonna have to adjust.
Yeah.
My kids are kind of the same way. Every once in a while, Olivia won't. I don't want to be upstairs alone. Like, there's nothing to be afraid of.
There's
I don't
no.
want to go down to the basement. I wouldn't. Why? All the lights are on. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Well, Allison won't go outside and walk the dog
At night.
Okay,
at
but she's
night.
not scared of monsters. She's scared of like
Yeah,
you know,
normal things.
criminals
Like
and.
people, yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
I don't live in Trenton.
I'm not saying that, but you
She
know,
she won't go into the basement at night either.
oh no, sorry, maybe she's scared of monsters.
There it is. No, well, no. The thing is, we live in a duplex, and the main door to the house is never locked. Mm-hmm. You can walk in, and somebody can walk in and walk into the basement and just like hang out down there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
So-
that's weird.
Yeah.
Want to give out your address for anybody?
I really
Yeah,
don't.
Where do you live?
Anybody looking to squat?
Yeah, the downstairs apartment's open if anyone needs anything.
I'm coming.
I remember a couple times like I walked down here in the dark and like saw like somebody hung a coat up weird on the coat rack.
Yeah, you weren't used to it, and it just like scared the shit out of you.
Yeah. Just, what the
absolutely.
Oh god. And then I get mad at myself because I got scared.
I think that the one thing that actually used to get me as a kid is like if I was home alone watching Unsolved Mysteries of all things, right?
Yeah.
It didn't even have to be anything that was even remotely close to New Jersey, but for some reason, just knowing that there was some person that they never caught.
Do you remember when they would show
Yeah,
like
freak you out.
the ghost stories on there?
Yeah.
There's the one the guy picked up some chick, he went on a date with her, and next thing you know, you just dropped me off, like, well, this is a cemetery. No, it's fine. And she gets out, and she walks off into the cemetery. And then they're like, oh, yeah, he comes back looking for her. It's like, oh, that she's been dead for 40 years.
Yeah, that's like an urban legend. I think that was
Yeah.
actually in like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
No, but that was an unsolved mystery thing. And
I know, and
Yeah,
that's all
that
it was.
Probably their Halloween episode that they wanted to have.
They just needed ratings. We need filler. Find stories and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
who was the guy that the host of that?
Robert Stack.
Oh no,
Oh, man.
William Shatner was what did
TJ Hooker.
No.
Star Trek.
Not the same at all. But
No,
the guy-
you're right. There was something he
Yeah,
did, and I can't remember
he
what it
hosted-
was.
Oh, America's Most Wanted. He hosted. I
Did he?
believe. Yeah.
I thought it was the same guy.
No. There was. Maybe he did.
Are you sure? I could swear it was the
It
same
wasn't the
dude.
same. No, it wasn't the same guy. It was the guy. The America's Most Wanted was the guy whose son got taken.
Shatner hosted one of these goddamn shows. I know it.
It was Robert Stack who did.
I swear you're
it was
thinking TJ
Robert
Hooker.
Stack who did. It was definitely Robert Stack who did Unsolved Mysteries, and then no, it was that guy whose son got abducted, who did America's Most Wanted.
I can't remember.
They all kind of have the same look.
Yeah.
You have to have that look. Yeah, you have to have that look. But Robert Stack's voice, we found that
He
recently.
freaked me out, man.
We
He had
found that
creepy
recently,
voice.
and it's perfect go to bed voice.
You know what always freaked me out was at the end when they would be like, if you have any information. And they would have the number on there. Like, this is fucking real, man.
Seriously, like, that's what I'm saying. Like that was what would freak me out. Just knowing that there was some random guy driving a girl into a cemetery in the middle of the night scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I used to watch when I was a kid. I had always like, it was kind of like Elvira. They had like those, and they would like host movies.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
them? Like Svengoolie and like there was one on US or TNT where there's some guy would host like scary like old scary movies, and I would just watch that sometimes.
Those were always good.
Yeah.
Watching the old scary movies.
Yeah.
Those I love.
Like the Universal monster movies. And
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Nosferatu. I remember seeing that
Yeah.
as a little
Nosferatu
kid.
freaks me out, man.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Those are good.
I remember Are You Afraid of the Dark? Remember that?
Yep, they're bringing that back too.
Do you remember the one where Nosferatu comes out of the movie theater?
Yes.
That
Yes.
fucked me up, man.
That's it's something great is that I can, my daughter, because she's into the scary stuff, we started showing her the originals because there are certain places on, if you know where to look, you can find them. But yeah, they did re-release or they remade Are You Afraid of the Dark, but it was only for October.
But aren't they doing like their?
It was only for October.
Oh.
From what I was led to believe, from the way that they worded it, they only did it Friday nights in October.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we taped them, and it was pretty decent. It
Yeah.
wasn't, the same as the original. The original is still great though.
Do you remember Creep Show?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember
They just
Creepshow.
came out with that too. There's like a streaming service that I forget what network put it out. It's called Shudder, and it's a like horror movie streaming. And they made a Creep Show new series.
Do you remember the part with the guy who turned into the gargoyle, or he like got attacked by the gargoyle? Do you remember that one? And then he like made a
never
deal
saw it.
with it, and then he was like an artist, and he used the gargoyle as like inspiration for his artwork. And the gargoyle, I think the deal was that like he would never tell anyone that he had seen the thing, but he used that as the inspiration for the artwork, so everybody like saw what it looked like.
No.
And then the guy ended up getting married with 2 kids, and then the gargoyle came back and turned his wife and kids into gargoyles too.
Sweet.
That was Creep Show, right?
Not the movies.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't think that was in one or two.
Maybe it was
definitely
Tales
wasn't
from
in
the Crypt.
No,
Tales from the
it was
Dark Side.
it was a movie. It might have been Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the Dark Side was always my favorite. That opening was just super creepy. How you're going into the woods and it's dark, and then all of a sudden they go into negative, and then you're looking at the woods negative. Like that one always got me as a kid.
What
Tales-
about Twilight Zone movie.
With John
Hey.
Lithgow.
You want
Yeah.
to see something
Yeah.
real scary?
Yeah.
With Dan Aykroyd?
I never
Yeah,
saw the
that
whole
was
thing.
good.
I just remember John Lithgow
The one I
redoing
know was-
William Shatner's
Yeah,
part
that
on,
was good. And
Yeah.
on the plane.
the one with the kid, that like
The kid that could manifest things. He had the powers. Yeah.
that freaked me
Yeah.
out.
And
That
he
part.
he was like the little tyrant kind of
Yeah.
storyline.
Yes. I wish.
And
I
they showed the
remember
one
his name.
sister he locked in the room and he like erased her mouth.
Yeah.
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 That was creepy.
No, that
She
was
got
good.
neo'd?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. She did get Neo.
She did get Neo.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr.
So what do you guys think? I mean, we got like an hour and a half here. Anybody have to get out of here?
No.
I don't.
Yeah, maybe a little
I want
bit.
to talk about Monster Squad. Everybody remember that?
I remember.
Wolfman's
I never
got
saw
nards.
Wolfman's
Really?
got nards.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since
great
I was
movie.
a kid.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a good
that
one.
actually, the guy that played Dracula, like all the interpretations of Dracula over the years, that guy creeped me out the most. Just something about his face and like how stoic and creepy he always was. I was like, that guy, that's like the best Dracula for me.
I'm surprised that movie kind of got left behind, but all of us
really-
remember
it's
it.
Very
Yeah,
under.
it's one of those cult movies that
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
but you would think it's like on TV at some point.
No,
and it's
never.
not. You can't even
Never.
buy it.
I have it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah?
no, yeah, you can still
They
buy it on
released
DVD.
it finally. Like, I
Yeah.
know, like for a long time.
I think it's DVD. You can't buy it on Blu-ray. I don't think they
Okay.
actually like upscaled it. Like it's you can buy it on DVD though. So that was one of those I just had to have to eventually show the kids. That's the
feel
only
like
reason I had kids was to show them all my horror movies. It's the only reason I collect horror movies.
No, like I feel like somebody pitched that movie like we want to make the Goonies, but with horror,
With horror,
horror
yeah.
characters. Yeah,
What about the Lost Boys?
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys,
Great.
fantastic movie.
That does not hold up at all.
Sure it does.
What about the friggin' muscular
the
guy playing a
haircuts?
sax on the boardwalk?
Not all of it holds up. I mean, I think we're coming back around to a culture that would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm always weirded out by like buff
I'm
musicians.
starting to see people with mullets and skin tight leopard pants and stuff again.
Thank God.
So yeah.
The Chinese
Glad it's
food
back.
thing when he's like, "Oh, you join that box of maggots."
Oh yeah.
That was always good.
That was a good one.
Kiefer Sutherland was great in that.
No,
Yeah,
he really
he's a
was.
good villain.
He is a good villain.
When we were in Arms Like These in our first band, we used the theme from the Lost Boys as our like intro music. It would be
yeah.
playing when we would come out.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one was that? And I was like,
Arms Like These.
The metal band.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows.
I know.
He knows. He's been around.
Just wanted to hear it again. Just wanted to hear that name again.
That was Darren's idea because Darren was the scene kid.
He was also a bit of a horror movie buff
Oh,
at the
big
time.
time.
Yeah,
he
no,
had
yeah.
he literally had the Bride of Frankenstein tattooed on him.
Yeah, we would anytime we would come over the house, whenever they would hang out at the house, I would always put on horror movies. That's what we would do.
Yeah.
I was
Alright.
watching horror movies. Not gonna
Alright.
do that again.
Let's cut it short here. Everybody's got work
Wrap it up a
tomorrow.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is fun. I like.
Yeah.
This
I
was
like
a
having
fun
you
one.
guys over. Yeah. There's no real point to this one. We're just going to talk
That was
about
fun.
No, it's
Halloween
fun.
stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Good times.
Thank you all for coming.
Yeah, no
Thanks
problem. Thanks
for
for
having
having me.
Thanks for making the drive, Age. He's got the longest drive out of all of us.
I got like 8-minute drive, maybe.
He's like an hour drive.
Jeez, man. Thanks for joining us.
Good thing you had that
For having
coffee.
me.
Yeah.
That's the see.
That's exactly why you had the coffee.
That's why we're
Me and AJ work together,
Oh yeah.
hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can just sleep over.
Back
We can
together.
carpool tomorrow.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's got the wife.
I got the pregnant lady.
She'll keep.
It's all right. She's got a toe knife.
I'm just kidding, Kristen. I'm going to send him home to you. Although this is going to be a while after we've recorded this that you'll hear this.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So everybody, thanks for listening. Gentlemen, thanks for coming by.
Happy Halloween.
Thank
Happy
you.
Halloween,
Yes,
everyone.
happy
Be safe.
Halloween.
Watch out for those razor blades and the caramel apples.
Oh,
And Goosey Night.
Goosey night.
Yeah, stay safe on Goosey Night, guys. Come on.
You're going to have to give me the spelling so I know how to...
Keep the goosiness to a minimum.
Like the animal. I believe. I think.
Is
that's
it
what
IE on the
I
end?
would say IE. I wouldn't think
it's
it's
EY.
EY. Really?
I thought it was an EY.
I don't know. You look like an EY kind of guy.
The only people that know it is people from Lodi, apparently.
That'll tell you something.
It's weird, man.
All right, people. You know where to find us on Instagram at APodAmongstMen. Our email address, APodAmongstMen@gmail.com with any comments, questions, suggestions, anything you have to say. If you're already listening to the podcast, you know where to find it. On Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. So anywhere you get your podcasts, you can find us there. But make sure you guys pre-order Modern Manhood, Conversations About the Complicated World of Being a Good Man Today by Cleo Stiller. Comes out in November, and we, as in myself, are featured in the book. And it's a good book. Like, I'm not all the way through it yet, but it's basically exactly what this podcast is about. It's about men navigating the complicated world of today. Okay, and it's honest, and it takes a look at, the gray areas that we as men find ourselves in these days. So make sure you guys pick that up. And we'll see you next week. And happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe. Peace.
Bye.
See ya.